I'm at the tail end of Justice for Peace, a rally that's been organized from close friends and family of Junior, a young man who just recently died from police brutality. This isn't the first time Jane-Finch.com's been covering pieces like this. The Latin community is for sure here representing, as well as the community members of Jane-Finch and abroad. Independent media is here in a big way, and it's time that we have a voice. Mainstream media is not covering this story in a real way, but independent is here. I feel uncomfortable asking people for interviews at this time, because everyone is being targeted at this point. Can I get your name?
My name is Nathan Shabazz.
And how are you today?
Not too bad.
And what did you think of the demonstration that happened? We started off at York University, we walked down the path to Shoreham and met up with our comrades, and there was a rally at 31 Division. How do you feel about that?
I think they did a rally. It was great to have so many folks there, but they need to take it a little more further than that. They need to take it, if you can't get no respect there, you take it to downtown, to Parliament Hill, and if you can't get none at Parliament Hill, you take it to Ottawa, and everybody needs to stand together. When they go to court, everybody's doing the courts. And if you can't get justice there, you got to find justice somewhere. In this country here, they tell you so much rights. It's such a great country. Why are your children and my children, everybody else's kids getting slaughtered and getting shot down the street? And the police, the judges and lawyers got so much to say. Why ain't the mother and father have something to say? They're the one grieving. Yet you get locked up in prison or give them a settlement. Settlement what? You can't get a settlement for someone that died. That's my son, is dead. So you can't bring him back. So, you know, the family need to get together and just come to agreement. Say, this ain't right. This is what we come here for, you know.
So Nathan, you're a face of Jane-Finch. You've been here for a hot minute.
I'm here for about 9 years.
So what have you seen in Jane-Finch when it comes to police brutality?
Brutality is, I see a lot of cars driving by and the police pull them over. They just up and down looking at people's cars. They checking your car. Me and my cousin, we drove up one time in a truck. He was on my cousin's bumper, and he was eyeballing him. I said, man, what's happening? He said, don't worry, my place is clean. You know, the police is on his back and everything. And they checked their plates, and they kept on, you know what I mean? After they found out he was clean, they went another direction, looking for somebody else. But he's always patrolling and stopping and telling people. One time I was walking down the street here, and they told me to jump out the car. They done jumped on my back. I went on the ground. They told me, so you just came here? I said, I was born here, you know what I mean? But my people from the States, we came from Canada, right?
Thank you.
And thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So I'm with Shakanda. Shakanda, something big happened in the Jane-Finch community, the raids, 18-year-old Tubz. What's your connection?
Well, my connection is I've known Junior for a long time. I've known his family for a long time, maybe since he was about 6, 7, 8 or so. Brilliant young man, good brother, you know, and it's unfortunate. Well, we know what happened. I don't know if you guys know much about it, but they're saying the police reports, media reports are saying that somehow this young, strong young man died from a heart attack, and the family, the community, nobody is really buying this story. Because we know Junior, how could a short foot chase, you know, end his life, you know, a heart attack. So we're demanding answers. Plus eyewitness accounts are saying something totally opposite, that he was brutalized by police. So we want the truth. We want answers, you know, and we're just not getting them. And we're just standing with the family. I'm with the International People's Democratic Uhuru Movement. And, you know, we go through these things all around the world. Our African people, black people go through these incidents all the time. I always have to deal with police oppression. We know the nature of police in our community are here to oppress us and keep us in these conditions that we live in. And also the backdrop to this is, like you said, the raids went down. That's the way they do it. They demonize the community and then they use brute force and say it's justified. So, you know, we got a real responsibility. I felt like I had a real responsibility to defend the interests of my people. Junior is my people, and that's where we felt about it. Also, I want to just say a little bit because we've been doing events around this type of police brutality for a long time, like I was saying, and anti-gang initiatives and policies like TAVIS is what make it ripe for this kind of thing. Instead of giving us economic development, creating jobs for the youth, they blame them and say, you know, things like, oh, they're involved in guns and drugs and gangs and all that sort of thing, but there's no jobs for our kids. There's no economic development for our community. And they can spend $17 million on Tavis, but you know, why didn't they put that in the community? Why do we need police? They don't do that garbage up in Forest Hills and them other places. They give those people resources. They give them opportunity. We don't get opportunity. We get police, you know, military-style police. You know, this is like we live in Palestine. It's almost the same way. We walk down the street, people ask us where we're going. Police ask us where we're going and all kinds of garbage. You know what I mean? That's how it is in Palestine, Afghanistan. The people walk down the street, they want to search them, want to, you know, ask all these questions. And this is what we got to deal with on a regular basis all around North America. And we're saying that it ends with the death of Junior. We plan to defend Junior and his family, and it's not going to go down like this.
Within the mobilization that's happened, we had a big number today that came out, and this flipped over in a very short period of time.
Yeah.
What does that say to you in terms of the pulse of community responding?
Well, it tells you that, you know, the sentiment in the community towards police, this kind of thing. Like I said, we've been dealing this for a long time, so it's not some kind of miracle, genius idea we had. It's just the conditions that people are facing. You know what I mean? If a man's hungry, he eats. If a man's being brutalized, he reacts, you know what I mean? And all it takes is an incident like this for everybody to say, yeah, that happened to me too. I was just waiting for somebody to say something. I was just waiting for somebody to stand up. And that's what the hell we're gonna do. We ain't got no time to play with anybody. We ain't playing with police. We ain't playing with anybody. We take our lives seriously. And this young man's life we cut short. And look at his Mother's Day. I mean, 5 days before Mother's Day. This is ridiculous. His mother shouldn't have to deal with this type of, you know, she should be, her son should be burying her, not the other way around. You know what I'm saying? So this is why we're here. We're angry as hell. And everybody, you can tell by the turnout. You can tell by, you know, the way people are reacting. They've been brutalized by police. They've been beaten by police. They realized that they were a punch away from dying. They were, you know, a kick away from dying. You know what I mean?
Just random, it could happen to anybody.
There you go. So that's what, and that's what the frustration comes from. Yeah.
So there is a lot of people that want to connect to this movement, to support the movement. How can we get people to know Facebook? What are you comfortable with sharing? How can people connect to information?
Well, the Facebook page, you know, the family has control of the Facebook page. From now on, we'll be putting out a lot of information through the Facebook page about the next rally, march, candlelight visual, whatever it is we're having. And we want the community, everyone to come out. Beyond that, I want to say that it's gonna take real organization to get this done. It ain't gonna, like, you know, we ain't gonna be able to sing and march just only that. You know, we need to do that, obviously, voice our opinion, but we're gonna really have to organize. We're gonna have to organize, like our organization is organizing cop watches. We wanna organize the community to videotape police officers whenever you see them stopping a young brother, searching a young brother, pull over a car in our community. If they're just patrolling in our community, we want people, grandmas, kids, everybody. Patrol, police watch them from the windows, from wherever, from your apartment windows, everything. We're not letting up with this one, and this is the measuring stick for how we get organized now. This is the litmus test for us now. We gotta really step to the plate, or else it's gonna be like some places in North America where they kill at least 2 black men a month. We ain't gonna have that in this city. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Any last words you'd like to share with our audience?
I want to say, man, join the Ahudu movement, man. Get at me, holler at me. You know, we trying to get free. You know, we need total African liberation. That's what we need. We need self determination for our community, self-government for our community. We need our own police. Yeah, just get at me. Chakanda, y'all can look me up on Facebook, look me up anywhere. Join the movement, and let's get free. Ahudu. Yeah.
Thank you. Right, I'm here with Amanda Paris, one of the founders of Lost Lyrics. We're just wrapping up the end of the rally. How do you feel?
I mean, it's hard to say. It's a mixture of feelings. You know, I feel it's beautiful to see so many people here and mobilized, but I'm here with a heavy heart. You know, it's beautiful to see people here mobilized in this particular community, to see everyone coming together, old and young, but under these circumstances, for this reason, again, I walked with a heavy heart today.
What are your hopes for the outcome of this tragic story?
My hopes are that this is something that is linked historically to the historic lynching that's been happening to men, black men, men of color for so long, whether it be Emmett Till, Amadou Diallo, Sean Bell, Alwi, Jeffrey Riotica. I mean, it just keeps on happening. My hope is that it's linked to the raids that happened. My hope is that the family is supported that this is not seen, that it's linked to larger things, but it's also recognized that this is so personal and this is so intimate. A mother lost her son, you know, and a sister lost her brother, and this is Mother's Day, and this is what I'm standing here doing, watching a mother crying because she lost her son. So I hope that in the midst of recognizing the political implications, we recognize the personal as well too. I hope that the young people that are here are educated on everything that is going on, that this isn't just an F the Popo as much as it is an F the Popo at the same time, but it's also something larger than that. This is our community that we need to fight for, and justice means so many different things, you know, including the fact that we will stand, we will walk, we will cry, we will hug, we will argue, we will fight for everything that we have done today, continuously, every single day. And we will also write the letters, we will also make the phone calls, we will also send the emails, we'll do all the boring administrative stuff too, because that is necessary as well. And we'll keep doing it today, tomorrow, next month, next year. And that this is linked to all of the programs that go on every single day, even when something bad doesn't happen. And it's linked to the celebrations as well too. It's linked to your son, it's linked to you, it's linked to us. So I hope that all of these things combine. We already have a movement, and I hope that this is a catalyst to making this movement larger and bigger, and that Junior, who I didn't know personally, but whose spirit is clearly here, is remembered and is with us as well.
I'm with Kabir. Kabir, who are you representing today?
Justice for All, we campaign against police brutality. Also just myself, out here supporting the family, supporting, the community that's dealing with this tragedy, this senseless murder, of a member of this community that, and really, I think as was eloquently put during the rally, it could have been any of us, in the sense that this kind of violence is placed on the community, and it could have been any of us that were murdered by the police. So we're out here in a sense, for ourselves as well, because this is not just a fight, that's the fight of Junior's family, although they're the ones that are leading up this campaign. This is everybody's battle. This is everybody's struggle.
And why is it important that communities here to support family moving ahead?
It's important we come out because, as again was mentioned throughout the rally, police brutality, police terrorism, as we should call it, because this is terrorism. What's going on when they can kill somebody, when they can beat somebody to death, and that can be attributed as him dying from a heart attack, as was put out in the media, in the corporate media. When they can do that and the police can get away with it, and they haven't done it once. There's been at least 32 killings, murders by the police since the 1990s, since the SIU was created, and that's just the ones that we know about. And all of those, the officers involved have got off scot-free, and they remain on the force to continue that kind of violence. And so, but it's not just limited to those murders. We're talking about police brutality on a daily basis. We're talking about it when they come and harass the community. We're talking about when they come and abduct our children from our homes, as they were doing, just in the days before Junior was killed. They were raiding the community. They were raiding places, throughout the city. They raided, Driftwood, that was back in 2006, right? And they're doing that regularly. It's in terms of just questioning the TAVIS that was created after 2005, which is basically community occupation force. That's a force that's based off the same rules, the same principles that they apply in Afghanistan and Iraq when they're going in those countries and outright occupying the country, outright going in there, stealing the resources of that country. That's the same mentality that goes into something like TAVIS, where they're out here, on the block every day, documenting people, writing down people's names, surveilling, the community, and it goes by the same principles. Because once again, when we talk about this lack of resources, if you want to get into an analysis of why people are involved in crime in the first place, why people run from the police, why people, why there's drugs and guns in the community in the first place, who's bringing that in? We don't have boats and planes and millions of dollars to ship drugs from Central America to Jane-Finch. So all these things are interconnected. The conditions and the lack of resources that make people have to pursue illicit means of survival is created by the very same system that then uses that as an excuse to go in and brutalize the community and do such things as the murder of Junior Manon.
And what are your future hopes from this mobilization? What's your future hopes in terms of community taking a lead on this?
Well, I think in terms of messages going on Jane-Finch.com, you know, to everybody, not only in Jane-Finch, but, you know, the communities throughout Toronto that are dealing with these same conditions, that this cannot just be allowed to kind of die down after, you know, perhaps after something takes place with the case in terms of the legal system. After, you know, a few weeks, a few months, we can't allow this to die down, because this is just one example of a systemic problem. And so there needs to be an organization that's created. There needs to be something that's created that's concrete, that's lasting, so that we can prevent the next time this takes place, because we know it's going to take place again. Let's not kid ourselves that the police are suddenly going to stop this because we're out here, we're demanding them. They have no respect. They have no conscience whatsoever that the community is angry, because this is what they do. And another thing, we need to stop calling this police misconduct, and we need to stop calling this police corruption, because this is what they're meant to do. This is what they're trained to do. This is not a mistake or an error in judgment. This is essentially what the police force is meant to do and meant to behave like in our community. So there needs to be a concrete force that's organized, and that's continual, that's generational, that will be passed on, and that will continue to exist in communities like Jane-Finch, but will exist throughout Toronto, to monitor police, to document police, and confront police. In terms of let's police the police, essentially, which is a statement that was brought back in the 60s, back with the Black Panthers and that movement. So police the police.
Police the police. All right, so for Jane-Finch.com, this is Butterfly, Peace in the Streets. There will be more mobilization, so look out for emails, word out, phone calls. We don't know how we're going to take the approach, but for sure there'll be some more mobilization around this issue. For Jane-Finch.com, peace.